Well, good afternoon. We got another Into the Past Randomizer Daily Race. The settings for today are going to be the standard hard flags, or also known as the main tourney flags. My name is Radical Sniper 99, and I'm joined today by Nitro 6003. Hello.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Just excited to see this race here.
Yeah, this should be a fun one. We've got two runners today for the restream. We have Smirk and Matcap.
Yeah, I've seen both of these guys run, so it'll be an interesting race between these two.
Yeah, so we had our first of the qualifiers yesterday at about 12 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. We'll have a second one tonight, but plenty of practice still going on by a lot of runners who want to, prep for the tourney. So a lot of people, hanging out trying these.
Yeah, absolutely. I was one that was in that, and it was did not go as I wanted. So I'm looking forward to tonight to redeeming myself a little bit.
So for those of you unfamiliar with the standard hard rule set, what's going to happen is our runners will do the standard escape. They're going to get a random weapon from the uncle. In this case, we are getting the fire rod. They rescue Princess Zelda, and then from there, it is a 7/7 seed. Now, the big change, of course, is the hard item pool. What that means is there's going to be some limitations on what you'll find in this seed. No gold sword. You will have a maximum of 14 hearts. No armor upgrades. Maximum of the fire shield. And the big one, of course, is no silver arrows. So going through the escape sequence, the big thing here for our runners is, will we be able to find a bomb prize pack? So for those of you unfamiliar, the prize packs, there's certain enemies that are part of these equipment outlays. And what'll happen is that you can, there are two prize packs in the escape sequence. Although that answers that question, we've got bombs in the chest. So the guards and the snakes are one prize pack, and then the rats in the back are a different prize pack. So you usually see runners try to find out which one could be in those prize packs. In this case, it doesn't matter. We found bombs. So other than that, though, the escape, of course, is a very almost a known quantity. So fire rod escape is especially one of the nicer weapons you can usually get. Nice for killing these enemies. You just got to be a little careful. 8 shots overall, of course, given a full magic bar. And that actually even makes things easier. We've got the hammer in Zelda's cell. So our runners are going through this. Now they got the return trip. A good time estimate for escape is about 6 minutes, even with all of the chests and pulling everything. So Matcap has switched over to the hammer for the rest of this. This will be pretty easy to work with, be able to save a little bit of magic. I did believe I saw some magic on some of our guards earlier, so I didn't catch fully what the prize pack is for that one. So we might see a few extra kills, but nothing too serious. When you find bombs, you kind of just go in run mode rather than actually checking. But yes, you know, our two runners today, Matt Cap does, Matt Cap's been racing, I think, a little bit longer. I know Smirk is definitely a newer runner. So, you know, definitely picking up a lot of skills and finding out about a lot about this mode or racing in general. So, we have our map in Dark Cross. So, we will have 3 items in the back of Escape as well as an item in Sanctuary.
Yeah, knowing him personally, he definitely is newer than Mapcat for sure, and he's definitely gonna have a lot to pick up from races like this, but he's definitely getting better.
Yeah, Smirk has been participating in a lot of races. I can just say personally, I've seen Smirk in a lot of these as well. So, you know, it takes a lot to kind of get comfortable, especially these are lower percent races. A lot of people have kind of referred to this as the NMG version of Rando because of the fact that you pretty much only are limited to the NMG item set.
Exactly.
So no real prizes in the back of Escape. We just have Sanctuary left, and then we'll be heading off towards Kakariko, most likely. So still under a 6-minute escape from Matcap, and Smirk's going to be just a little above. So a decent time by both of our runners, and a really nice find of 300 rupees in the Sanctuary chest. So plenty of money. Crystal pennant wise, I do see we had a red crystal down at Desert and regular crystal at Hera, and I saw some color of pendant over at Eastern Palace.
It looked like our vanilla green pendant, so it'll be interesting to see what Saha has.
So we are getting some very interesting routing choices here. I don't believe Matcap even went into the Lost Woods, whereas Smirk's instead going to check out at least our Tier 2 tree pull, and looks like we're going to get an Agaledge check here.
Yeah, it's some runners like to either wait till they have the boots to check the lumberjack, others will check it at the beginning.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to think about how you do that check at the beginning of a race. There's definitely, I definitely see the merit of waiting till you have the boots. But sometimes just that little bit of info early can, you know, change how you do a route. Plus, it gives you an easy pull for that tier tree pull, as well as checking a bush crab. So I don't blame anybody for making that decision as well. In this case, though, you know, bush crabs were only hearts, and our tree pull, I think, was 5 rupees for tier 2.
Yeah, exactly.
So Lost Wood's not really having anything, so Matt Cap really didn't miss out there.
And with that early 20 on the that you're going to see quite a few of as we go through this race was probably the blue mail right there.
Yeah, until we get quite a few extra hearts and a bow and and a few swords, that will be our first armor upgrade. So the way this works, this has been a common question from a lot of newer runners and people looking to get into this. The way the item placement works is all 4 of the swords are placed in the pool. All of the heart containers, all the pieces, all of the both bows, all that stuff is placed. Until you find all of them, they are not changed over. But so like if you know where all 4 swords are, when you find the 3rd sword, that 4th one turns into a green 20. Which can play tricks on people. At times we had a daily race last week where actually these silver arrows were out in the open. And as one of the runners in that race, I personally did a double take. Like, wait a minute, is that what I think it is?
Well, yeah, in yesterday's run, Zora had it, and I was like, wait a second, am I in the right seed? Why is it the silvers? And I'm like, wait, it's gonna turn to a green 20, and I just kind of left it there. I'm like, it's
Yeah, the any silvers when they're out in the open will look like they are actually silvers until you pick them up, and then they turn into that 20. So it really does play a trick on a lot of people, as we do get a glove off of Race Game. So it looks like Matcap is going to head for South Shore, so we're going to get the dam. And this is one of the other things we've seen a lot of with these qualifiers starting is, a lot of people are doing different routes out of the dam. So some people have actually been taking the dam west to Agena, while others have been sticking to almost a more traditional route over to our mini Moldorm cave.
Yeah, that's the one I tend to do. I tend to go to the right first, and and then if I have book or something, then I route all this stuff in together. But there's no wrong way to do it.
Yeah, the big thing that a lot of people have been saying is, you avoid last locationing Agena. And, if that is something important, at this point, we're one item from Dark World access.
Yeah, we just need to find that moon pearl.
Nice use of the fire rod for that first kill on those mini Moldorms. And nice prize pack as well for those. They're in the special prize pack, so nice full magic refill.
Lots of arrows and bombs though so far, mini mill. Oh, there's the flippers and a fetch quest.
Hooray, fetch quests! But yeah, those flippers will definitely help out. Unfortunately, we're not getting the money, so while Matcap will definitely... Oh, wait. Yeah, no. While Matcap will be able to check the Hobo and the Zora Waterfall and the Zora Ledge, definitely not close enough to purchase the Zora item. Or am I just, like, going blind here?
He has, like, over 700. I think he has...
Yeah, I can't read.
It's okay. We all have it's all good. Yeah, but these crabs do quite a bit of damage. I don't know who created crabs to do 2 hearts of damage in the light world, but either way, darn Zelda makers who made that. Oh, there's the swag net. So if we do need to do Aga 1, we could do it with the swag.
I can say I do not enjoy doing Bugnet.
I think most people don't. In fact, I know most runners will avoid doing Aga as long as humanly possible.
But here we go with our flipper checks. So likely Hobo, then take a peek at Lake Hylia Island, and then the waterfall, and of course there's 2 Zora items. I will say, I Chad's talking about the cricket enemies doing 2 hearts of damage. At least those are Dark World enemies. I can kind of understand the idea of them hitting like trucks. The fact that the very basic Light World enemy is doing 2 hearts of damage is probably less appreciated.
Yeah, very much so.
So yeah, you just have to be really careful here.
Oh,
Luckily, we do have the
sword.
hammer. It's just a little hard given, how short the range is. Oh yeah, sword on Lake Hylia Island. Very nice. More money in the Zora waterfall.
Well, there's our moon portal and our dark world access.
So here's the question now. How are you going to approach Dark World given what you have? You know, are you going to hit Hype Cave first, or are you going to head to Village of Outcasts?
That is a really interesting question, and I think you definitely go. Oh, it's already giving a big 20. Yeah, I mean it's. I like the going to Outcast first, because you can, depending on whether or not Thieves Town is a crystal or pendant, you can definitely clear it and full clear it if it's a crystal. So I like doing that first. But we'll see where these runners go. Looks like Mapcat with that is going to head to Hype Cave first.
Yeah, and this is, I'll say personally, I am a Hype Cave type of person for starting Dark World treks. Because realistically, if you find the mitts or the mirror, you can do a lot more. Starting from here instead, especially, if we can find a sword, then we might be able to do Skull Woods.
Good point. All right, so our other two pendants are Thieves Town and TR. 5-6 is at Swamp Palace, so we will need that mirror, but that does not look like we will need the ice rod today.
Now that is definitely a hated pendant location with Thieves Town. That is, I will say, one of the more bothersome pendant dungeons to see. And there you go. There's our mitts off of Hype Cave NPC. So this is why I personally would say you do Hype Cave, because now Matcap can actually work all the way to the left.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So that gives Hype Cave kind of almost the 7 or 8 out of 10 just for the gloves right there. So yeah, now he can go check, get Pyramid out of the way, and maybe he goes straight and does, see what's there.
Take everything I just said and throw it out the window. Matcap is saying, I'm going to check Pyramid Pledge.
Yeah. He's like, we're not going to listen to the commentators. Why would we do that?
Meanwhile, Smirk is about to get that pearl to be able to head into Dark World as well. And what do we have on the pyramid? But looks like some money.
It looked like a 20 or 50 from my eyes. So I'm going to say if it's a 20, that's probably your red mail right there.
Yeah, that would have been red mail as a 20. So, but given we have so many rupees right now, and only a few purchases left, definitely not as necessary to pick them up.
And I like that Smear is also going to do Hype Cave. He will not miss those early mitts.
But yeah, that Thieves Town pendant is can be very difficult to deal with. A lot of runners will still check the front four of Thieves Town hoping for an item, but if there's something in the back, you don't want to have to go through that dungeon only to find out there was nothing.
Well, what's worse is with Meyer being a crystal, you have the chance of Meyer's medallion being somewhere awful.
Yeah, we've definitely got a few important items to find besides the obvious ones. The one that we don't have to worry about, hopefully, of course, is that ice rod.
Yeah, I mean, The only reason we would need the ice rod is if Trinex had the Meyer medallion or it was on head. But other than that, we wouldn't need the ice rod.
Yeah, there's a few items that could be, but very unlikely we'll worry about a Trinex today. Smirk is going with the other route, hitting up our friend Stumpy as well as the dig game. Meanwhile, Matcap has routed back in the Kakariko or the Lost Woods checks.
Yeah, so he's going to do that while Smirk is going to do probably the dig game and go into the village of Outcast and see where he goes. With no mirror at this point, cannot save the Smith yet.
Now, Smirk is skipping dig game for the moment.
Yeah, he is.
Has plenty of money, so
Yeah,
this
he
isn't a
does.
question of the rupees.
And our runners could be converging on Village of Outcast here. So after all the diversions, they could be in the same place. And there's more money to add to our bank accounts.
Yeah, we're set for money on this seed. We've got some speculation about bad pet items. Honestly, yeah, flute, hookshot, mirror are pretty much the only ones that are out there for sure.
I don't think the lamp could be on ped with Turtle Rock being a pendant and Eastern
Correct.
being a pendant.
Yeah, Turtle Rock does technically require the lamp to complete, so that cannot be on the pedestal. But yeah, hookshot, mirror, and flute are definite ones, as well as that Meyer medallion, depending on what it is.
I think those are the only things that we have left that can be there. So yeah, now both runners are in the same dungeon. So first time since we've started that they're back in the same place.
And we'll see how much they each decide to do with Thieves Town. Given what we have available, it's very possible both of our, they might leave early.
I think if it were me running, I would check front four, and if I only got one item, I would probably nope out. But that's just me. Oh, and then we have a flute.
That's nope worthy.
Yep.
Obviously, that is so nope worthy.
That's exactly what Smirk is going to do. Yep. I think I would have actually died rather than save and quit to then go get the Smith first before dying, to then bring the Smith back with that. But, again, when you're in a race, that's may not be your top priority. But the green pendant is on Eastern Palace, and it looks like that's what Mapcat is going to do, or he's going to probably go get the
Yeah,
Smith.
Madcap had left a couple of additional Village of the Bomb Hut and Village of Outcasts, and had not checked Stumpy or Dig Game yet. So I think there's good reason to believe that Madcap will make these extra checks, maybe even a Hammer Pegs. We didn't get to see those either.
Yeah, so we'll see if any of that comes back to nip Smirk in the butt later. But yeah, it looks to me like the map's gonna do Dig Game first. Or he's gonna prove me totally wrong and go do Stumpy.
Not the worst idea for sure. Gonna have to work back from Stumpy anyway to Dig Game. So jumping from the ledge, this is about as far to the right as you already are gonna be. So understandable decision. We're also gonna get Smirk to check out that shovel spot.
I'm hoping for him it could be a sword or something, or mirror that could get him back. So let's see what's on the dig game. It'll be the same amount of digs for both of these runners. And is the My Fisher Price for shield.
And a piece of heart over on the dig game from Matt Cap. And given the early game right now, definitely a understandable choice to kind of check these out. So Smirk has gone up the mountain. Not a ton of checks up here, unfortunately. And I don't believe Smirk decided to go with checking out or rescuing the old man without any real way to see where you're going between a sword or a lamp. Some dark rooms, if you're not used to them, can be a little bit more difficult to get through. But we are getting a look at Spectacle Rock. Nothing on top. And inside we have a piece of heart.
I wonder if I'll go back for that. It looks like he might be going over to Saha to check what's in his closet.
Not a terrible idea. This is probably the densest play that Smirk has available right now. Yeah, we can't, besides Thieves Town, we really can't clear a dungeon yet.
Yep, can't. Yeah, that's true. So let's see what we have in Sahasha's closet here. There's some money, more money, and a heart. We can go into Ice Palace. As scary as that sounds. So nothing.
Oh yeah, no, Chad is correct. We have a full clearable Ice Palace.
Yeah, we do. That is gross, but yeah.
If you are daring enough to go do that one, just keep in mind we don't have a sword, so no bombos casting.
Yep, no sword. So you're doing it with the fire rod only. So yeah. Well, you'd also, I know from my play, I'm not good enough to do the Ice Palace bomb jump without at least a Master Sword. I'm sure Mapcat is, able to. I don't know if Smirk is able to or not.
And one of the things that I've also seen recently is a lot of runners are actually kind of, I'm not saying avoiding, or I don't want to say the word avoid too much on this play of Ice Palace without the Cane of Samaria, but a lot of runners definitely have waited a little longer to go to Ice, knowing that that is an option instead.
No, we need Ether for Misery Mire.
So Mire Shed not helping us out really today. I mean, an empty bottle is a nice additional safety, so. We have gotten our first item out of Eastern Palace, though, with that heart container. Still 2 left, and of course that green pendant on Armos. But without that bow, still not an option.
Right, exactly. But it is something, there could be an item in that dungeon to do. So. It looks like Mapcat is gonna test his waters into Skull Woods.
Yeah, and it's not a bad idea. There are 2 items. We can possibly get both of them, so worth checking possibly if, maybe if we find a sword that gives us a dungeon to clear.
The only thing about Mapcat's direction is that he may not get a key, and there's all 3 items in Eastern. Let's, I was gonna say, I hope he counted, and he did. So he's done in Eastern regardless. Unless he had found the bow. But yeah, he's done in Eastern. Oh, and it looks like Smear's going to check Gina. don't think either runner has done that yet. So let's see
And
if this is where our
wow,
first sword is.
yeah, Skull Woods very loaded today. Sword and Cane of Samaria, was that? Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Well, that puts even more reason to go to Ice Palace, I guess, because now you can use bombos.
So yeah, with that sword, Matt Cap is heading immediately for the moth. This is a great, great timing for this. Little low percent of a fight, but I believe we do have a blue potion from earlier, and should be fine to take down this first boss for our first crystal.
It looks like Smirk might be headed in the same direction. So he will also get his Keen of Samaria and his first sword. I don't know who designed Mothula to the Mothula fight, but I would like to take them into a room of spikes and let them fight Mothula.
Yeah, the moth, resistant when knocked into spikes. So Matt Cap is working very intently to oh yeah, so there's that potion use. And able to take down Mothula. Nice combination of the hammer and fire rod to get through that fight. And an unfortunate death by Smirk there. The Gibdos do 2 hearts of damage, so.
Yeah, they are not friendly.
So Matt Cap here, it looks like I think Matt Cap is probably stocking up for an Ice Palace play at this point. So getting 2 blue potions, has that flute out.
Yeah, that would be my guess. Yeah, but that's exactly what he's going to do. Full clear ice. No,
Yeah,
I
while we
definitely
do have a
cannot
lot
do
of
Icebreaker.
Yeah, while we do have a lot of ability to kind of move around this map, the dense plays for crystal dungeons or to clear crystal dungeons is not fully there yet. We are really looking for a mirror or hook shot or a bow to really make a very decisive play here.
Oh, Smear does not realize he does not have the sword. I think he's hoping he's going to get it here, which he is unfortunately not.
Yeah, unfortunately, both items are in the front of Skull Woods, so.
Oh, there's one of the items in Ice Palace.
Yeah, nice use of our Bombos medallion to make quick work of this.
So now he's going to have to go out and go to the front where the 2 items are, which is Keen of Samaria and his first sword, which will then allow him to complete the dungeon.
So yeah, here we go with the Icebreaker Glitch. This is a newer one. I say new, but it's been around for quite a bit. It allows you to clip through that rail there, and whoop, we got a vanilla big key. So this is really redefined getting through Ice Palace. So a lot of runners have taken to using that instead of Ice Palace Bomb Jump. Both work. Both are, you know, almost, I almost want to call them necessities at this point. But really well done there by Matcap, getting it really fast. And yes, it really did make Ice Palace, for a lot of people, this was probably their least favorite dungeon to route. But since the addition of Icebreaker has really become one that a lot of runners don't hate as much.
I think I still hate it. To be fair. I think I will take... Although I think I would still take Ice Palace over fighting Mothula with the spikes, but that's just my opinion.
So here we go. Matcap working back to the left side now. Was able to do that ice tea room real quick. Now setting up for this bomb jump. This actually is a really easier one to pull off of the Ice Palace bomb jumps. You really just put yourself into that corner and just place the bomb, and it always will throw you there. No real special alignment for that one.
Well, now it's time for Cold Stare. Was it 7 heart Cold Stare? Or just about?
Yeah, it looks like we've got 8 hearts.
Yeah, so I think Cold Stare does 4.
Although okay, so Matcap recognizing, hey, I've got that switch hit that way. I can head back in to the fairy room here, catch a fairy. Not a bad idea.
So it looks like Smear is going to go and do the hammer pegs.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to have to do with the walking way. A lot of runners would definitely prefer to have boots here, but finding boots is not unheard of on this location, and this could be a nice find.
That would be a huge find for him.
So
Cold Stare
Matcap is through the with one of the puffs. Going to use that blue potion. And yeah, that blue potion makes this fight so much better. But no real progression.
Yeah, but with that key, that basically assumes that you have Cane of Samaria to beat the dungeon. So Cane of Samaria was logically required to beat Ice Palace.
Yes, that was a Samaria locked Ice Palace if you were going through this dungeon without the Icebreaker or the Ice Palace bomb jump.
See where Matcap goes next. He's gonna go rescue the old man. With the sword, it'll be a little easier for him. And welcome Speed Gaming Dutch with a rating party of 44.
So what are we going to get off of our old man check today?
Just a piece of heart.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is not progression. So,
no. And without a hook shot, realistically still not very much you can do on Death Mountain yet. And no hookshot, no mirror. So Death Mountain really not gonna really show. Maybe Smirk is gonna go over to Pod, perhaps.
Quite possibly. As chat's pointing out, our last options right now are the Back of Thieves or Pod. At least from our perspective, Smirk and Madcap have a lot of options, but what we know is it's one of those two.
Yeah. Yeah, and Chad pointing out Smirk is gonna do Pyramid into Catfish, whereas Mapcat looks like he's gonna head over to Thieves Town.
Yeah, this could be a Thieves Town into Purple Chest and Hammer Pegs play for Madcap, because we also haven't seen the Purple Chest. And Purple Chest is almost infamous for having an item when you don't have mirror.
Yeah, I have seen that many times. I've seen it have so many items, actually. Mapcat also doing the Hammer Pegs the slow way. I don't think Spike Cave is in Logic until you have either Cane of Burner or the Cape, I believe.
Yes, Cane of Burna by itself is fine. Cape will require you have also found either half magic or a bottle for it to be in Logic. Spike Cave does not take into account your hearts or your bottles.
Right.
Unless you already have the invincibility item to go with it.
Oh, there is half magic.
That's a nice little find. Probably would have been a lot better for Ice Palace for Madcap, but still a good find.
Yeah. Well, looks like Smirk is maybe going back to Thieves Town, perhaps.
Yeah, I'll definitely be curious to see where that progression is going to show up and who's going to make that play. While Smirk has not gone over to Ice Palace, we do know that there was nothing there to really give us play yet. Madcap is heading over to the eastern area. This could be a Saha eastern play on Madcap's side.
And I think I like the Thieves Town play better than the Pod play because you could really get essentially locked out the minute you get in there, although they do have potions and they could technically do the potion glitch to go to the Bowlock side of Pod. But I actually like this routing better because you can clear this even though it is a pendant and you don't want to. You can do it. I'm assuming Smirk is avoiding Skull Woods because he's maybe looking for a better sword. With Mothula, he got both items already, and he just might be looking for a couple more safeties with Mothula. Mothula is not an easy fight no matter what, so he might just be looking for a second bottle. I'm not sure. We'll have to ask him.
Yeah, as Professor Pixie's pointing out, Smirk is definitely a bit of a newer runner, so learning a lot. And, for anybody who's learning this game or has not played it too much, Mothula is definitely one of the hardest bosses to kind of get used to as a newer runner.
Yeah, Mothula and Blind are probably your hardest bosses as far as that's concerned.
And luckily, knowing that he already has both items out of Skullwoods and, can kind of hold off until some better options become available.
Right, exactly. All right, so we're gonna find out if Pod is bow locked or not.
Yeah, the big problem here I see for Matcap is that I don't think Matcap has any potions. I believe
Oh, that's a good
he
point.
used
Yeah.
both of his potions in Ice Palace,
Oh,
and luckily
oh,
we are
lucky
not
for
bow
him.
locked right now. Not yet, at least.
Yeah, not yeah, for sure. So, well, they're both pendant. Well, Pod is at least a crystal, but we'll see if this is a good choice either way. So, let's see. Well, that. So let's see. With the compass being there, that means that Blind will have the final piece of the puzzle because he cannot have the small key, which will be locked in the big key chest.
But that play out of Pod is huge with that mirror. So it looks like we are going to be quite possibly bow locked, or at least somewhat bow locked in this dungeon. But, you know, yeah, we are bow locked in Palace of Darkness. But the mirror gives us some options.
Yeah, it gives us a lot because not only do we have access to Swamp now, we have access to Hera, we have access to East Death Mountain and Dark Death Mountain. So yeah, we have access to a lot.
And here goes a different. So we were talking about potion glitch. It looks like Matcap is going to show us one of the other ways to get through a bow locked pod here with the mimic clip.
Oh, Fire Rod does not hurt Blind. Oh, that is unfortunate.
Yeah, rough death there on Smirk's end. But there we go. Matcap getting rid of the mimic. As you see it just slide off the screen.
Well, if he heads over to Pod, that would be good. Yes, we are on hard item pool, which basically means they have a maximum of 14 hearts, tempered sword, no mail upgrades, and no silvers. And this is Smirk's first time on the restream, and he is a newer runner. So
Now, Matcap here, getting those two pod smalls on the right side, checking the vanilla big key chest. For runners learning about key logic in the Palace of Darkness, between those front 6 checks, you will always find 4 small keys. So the fact that Matcap found the mirror and a heart container in the front half of Palace of Darkness meant that that vanilla big key chest had to be a small key. So that was just a trade, a key for a key, unfortunately.
So the question, Chad, is Lucan, I believe is how you pronounce your name. I apologize if I'm making it sound bad. Wishing for a blue mail, yeah, and Professor Pexy making it respectable. Yeah, basically it's based on the no major glitches routing, which does not pick up any mail upgrades or any of that stuff. So that's where it comes from. Looks like Smirk is heading into Pod, so he will get his mirror. I don't think he will know how to do the Bullock side without it, so he'll probably just get his mirror and leave, would be my guess.
Yeah, we haven't seen much else on Matcap's side yet. But here we're going to get to see the Dark Maze soon. Going to get that Harmless Hellway item. There's our big key. And it looks like Matcap is actually going to instead set up for the Hammer Yump.
Well, that saves a key too.
But
that's
I
really
mean,
basically only useful in key sanity.
Yeah, there's arguments to be made for doing a Hammer Yump in the Palace of Darkness. in a non-key sanity mode. Frequently, you know, if you have the big key when you show up and you have an extra key when you get to this point, you know, it's not a bad idea. But generally speaking, or if you don't have the mirror especially, but given that Matcap does have the mirror, Hammer Yump, not necessarily needed, as we do find the book.
Uh-oh. Well, book is locked behind the lamp for sure.
Yeah, as well as the bow.
Yeah, as well as the bows, right. And there's our map. Well, if Smirk is able to take that mirror and leave when he gets it, if he takes the mirror and leaves,
Yeah, not happy about finding that mirror,
yeah, if he
unfortunately.
takes it and leaves right now and doesn't go any further in pod, he will save a tremendous amount of time. Unless he knows the potion glitch.
Quite possible. That's definitely one a lot of runners have. It's not real hard to set up, so a lot of runners usually do know this trick. As we do get checkerboard and just a piece of heart there.
And I thought he used it on blind, unless he knows the one that Mapcap used. Which again, I don't know either one of them. So
yeah, the mimic clip is a lot harder to pull off if you don't know what you're doing. And yeah, Smirk is heading out.
He's gonna save a lot of time though, because other than the book, yeah. So the bow could be. There's a lot of places the bow could be realistically.
Yeah, and Matcap is going to check out Desert Palace. I personally think play over to Death Mountain or up Death Mountain to check out Hera and all of those Death Mountain checks is a little bit denser, but we can get some nice info here. Are we boots locked in Desert?
We are.
We are.
Yep.
We might still be able to beat the dungeon because technically Big Key could be here in the center chest, but
could be boots
that
right
would
here,
still
though.
imply boots locked.
Oh, there's Ether. So Ether in the center chest. So 100% boots locked in this dungeon. So I'm wondering where Smirk will go next, because again, you got to go up the mountains. Mapcap's doing that, and you can clear pretty much the entirety and find out what the medallion is for Turtle Rock if you need to go that route. You know, if there's something on the ped that you may need.
Now, Smirk is going to pick up that second sword. We did see this a lot earlier, and you know, Smirk is saying, "Hey, I want Master Sword." Maybe this sends Smirk over to Ice Palace as the crystal clear. We'll see, though.
Yeah, you might do that too.
And I actually think this is a good play. You know, if one of our, at least from the standpoint of something I almost wish Matcap had done, because Matcap has the book and is going to check this tablet and can't get it. Okay, so luckily only 10 arrows off of the ether tablet. But given Matcap knew where that second sword was, you know, if that was something important, we wouldn't be able to get that item yet.
Right, exactly. So we definitely know we need the bow. Then the question is, you know, we still need the bow. We need boots. And we have ether. So are we? And we need hookshot too. So there's still a lot we need.
Yeah, we are go -3, but realistically, the mountain has a decent chance of having our progression.
Yeah.
At least any one of those items gives us a lot at this point.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, Smirk's fight with well, they'll both have the hammer. Never mind. I was gonna say his fight with Trollbone will be a little easier, but they both have hammer, so never mind with that.
So we did get our red boomerang out of the chest there, and we got the small key out of the big chest. So we're hoping that our second item is on Moldorm and not in the basement.
Yeah, we hope not, but we'll have to see where it is.
But yeah, I think, one of the things we're kind of not discussing as a possibility is Swamp Palace, Hookless Swamp.
Yeah, Hookless Swamp is never fun, and unfortunately, Smirk taking another fall. Down goes Trolldorm, and we are gonna go for a coffee break.
Well, here's the question. Do you gamble that nothing's in that coffee break?
I wouldn't. Well, you know what? I as a new runner for Smirk, I probably know he won't. Mapcap might. Although he'll again eat my words.
Yeah, this is, at this point, given how little we have left in some regards, I mean, we have a bunch on East Death Mountain and even Super Bunny as well, but there's just we're running out of checks in some regards, and Matcap has really been trying to get through everything possible. So I can see wanting to check the basement at this point just to not miss something.
Right, exactly. You can't not do the basement, because if the progression is here for whatever reason, you don't want to leave it, and then your opponent has a huge lead. And oh, Smirk takes a Trolldorm fall. We've all had that happen.
Oh yeah, and I wouldn't say all of our checks are bad. I disagree with that kind of characterization here. I'd say the 8 checks we have in Light Death Mountain on the east side are actually really good.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, nothing for Matcap there.
Oh,
oh no, Smirk
that's
getting
the
center
ultimate
hole.
troll. Ugh. I think the best course of action would be probably, you know what, I would go open the Turtle Rock entrance first and see what the medallion is, and then with the mirror you can pretty much get everything else.
Just a single arrow on the floating island, so that is not going to be our answer. But yeah, between the other checks, and I think worst case, if you check, Hookshot Cave or Super Bunny and Paradox Cave and Spiral Cave, and you find nothing, I think there's a decent chance we can get into Turtle Rock right now.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Samaria and Fire Rod, absolutely. It is Ether. So we can get into Turtle Rock. As gross as that sounds.
Yeah, and there's I don't like placing bad ideas in everybody's heads, but thinking of it this way, what if boots are in Turtle Rock and you were required to make a bad play into Desert Palace just for that Ether Medallion to get boots out of TR?
Yeah, and unfortunately, Smirk does not have the Ether Medallion to get into Turtle Rock, because he didn't go there. So he's not going to have that.
And question in chat, why did Matcap not open Turtle Rock? I am not sure. I definitely think that was a play to make, but Matcap deciding not to at this point. I think Matcap is more so hoping to find something better.
Yeah. No, you don't need the Master Sword to open up the medallions. Where is he going? Unless he skipped something else. I thought he beat the boss.
I'm guessing he skipped the big chest, given this route.
Okay. Yeah, you do not need the Master Sword to cast the medallions. The only thing you need the Master Sword for, the 2 things you need the Master Sword for. Oh, there's your hook shot for Hookshot Cave. You need the Master Sword to beat the game, and you need the Master Sword to read them to get the medallions. That's what you need the Master Sword for. You do not.
Yeah,
need
those tablets require Master Sword.
What's that?
The tablets.
Yes, the tablets and to beat Ganon.
But yeah, with that hook shot, Matcap has a very clear route here. we're going to get to see Hookshot Cave for another 4 items. And I think there's, Spiral Cave after that. But I would say Matt Cap is going to do Swamp Palace next, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so let's see what is in Hookshot Cave. Just bombs first. More money that we don't need. And a third bottle.
Actually, that's our 4th bottle.
That's 4, sorry. And oh, then we have all 3 medallions.
Unfortunately, none of them are needed besides Ether.
Besides Ether.
Yeah, we did get our 1 bottle off of Desert Ledge, and it was filled with blue potion.
It's always nice to get free blue potions.
Yeah.
And now Mapcat will take the walk of shame through Spiral Cave.
Yeah, never fun to have to walk this one. You always hope to have the ability to dash through, but just not the case this time.
All right, so let's see what happens next. Smirk not having the Ether medallion might actually go in his favor because he knows he can't get into Turtle Rock, so he may think, you know what, I don't have to get in there, I don't have to worry about it right now. He'll go into the Dark World the same way Mapcat did. Well, maybe he'll take Spiral Cave first and then go that way. But anyways,
Yeah, unfortunately, got blocked by a dead rock on his way over to the TR portal.
Yeah, so he'll just do it, through the light world first. But either way, he'll still get his hook shot and everything, and then probably just follow Mapcat directly to Swamp.
Yeah, and the other thing, we haven't really mentioned it, but not only does Matcap have access to Swamp Palace to full clear it, depending on your comfort with the Mire Dark Rooms, Matcap could head over to Misery Mire and full clear that dungeon now.
He could. Not something you want to really say on an everyday basis, but yeah, those are the hardest dark rooms in the game for sure.
We did get a look at K45, just some money. We are finding lots of money in this seed. We just don't need it now at this point. We have made pretty much every purchase.
Well, we still need to find those boots. And we know where the Master Sword is, and hopefully Mapcat has not forgotten where the Master Sword is.
Yeah, and the big problem here especially is, what about Bombo's tablet?
Yeah, that is another problem that but again, the thing is that it's bow lock, so we still need the bow to get it, and the lamp technically, so it's just where's the bow and where's the lamp in order to get all that into the logic and what the game wanted you to do to get all that.
But here we go. Lots of new information here out of Swamp Palace. We'll see if we get a dive or down play from Matcap's side as we get an early big key.
I'm sure he'll do. I'm never sure, but with these runners, since they've proved us both wrong in this entire seed, that he will do left side, but we'll see. I'm gonna say he probably, since he's missing the items, will probably do left side. And yes, he did complete Ice Palace, but the tracker likes to eat the input, so yeah.
So yeah, Matt Cap working on his 4th crystal right now.
So let's hope Smirk goes directly to Swamp Palace.
Yeah, I think that's the play for Smirk at this point. Maybe not.
Is he gonna go? Is he gonna go desert? He might be going desert.
Yeah, Matt Cap, meanwhile, did skip left side for now, but is going diver down on the way to the back. Not a bad play, honestly. If we can find something here, maybe we skip left side completely. Half Magic was on the purple chest. And there's our compass. Yep, Smirk is heading for Swamp Palace now, so we haven't found any items yet, but I think we almost know for sure that, well, I'm going to say this, but oh boy, there is not a lot of options after Swamp Palace at this point.
And you see, the thing is that if Mapcat really did remember where the Master Sword is, this fight would be much easier for him if he had gotten the Master Sword.
Yeah, but going with these double spin strats, doing really nicely so far. Unfortunately, sometimes, it just, they get away.
The Puff was just like, I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah, Meyer might turn out to be the play at this point. We are running low on other checks.
Well, we still can get into Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and that's the one I don't think either of our runners really want to have to go to.
No. Well, let's see what we get in Swamp Palace. Oh, there's our lamp.
So if you weren't sure before, Meyer's the play now.
Yep. Now you can full clear Meyer for sure. Yep. So, yeah. So in order for that book and all that stuff that you had to do, you had to get the mirror first, and then go up to get your hook shot, to then go to Swamp Palace to get your lamp. So yeah, good job there. Let's see.
Oh,
there's
wow.
the bow. One of them.
Here's the fun little factoid about that one. We have a bow-locked bow on Bombo's tablet.
Yep. So yeah, so there's the other bow has to be somewhere.
So, and Matt Cap instantly saying, I need that sword. Let's go get it.
Yep. So that would be Silver's technically, yeah.
Yeah,
so...
that would have been our silver arrows normally.
Yep.
But given a mimic clip on Matt Cap's side for our book to get into the back of Palace of Darkness means we have the ability to get this bow first. So we did have a key in the shooter room of Pod, but then our bridge chest and our Stalfos basement chest were both items. So yes, this was the book was purely bow locked, no way around it.
So it looks like Smirk is gonna do left side. So if the boots are on left side swamp, Smirk is gonna have a huge advantage on that. But unfortunately, on the crystal count, he's a little far behind.
Yeah, and we could, like, realistically, there could be the other bow here. We don't know necessarily where that one might show up.
Yeah, that would be really good for him. No, map is not in go mode. He still needs the boots.
Yeah, our keys, our big key in Desert Palace is locked behind the small key on the torch. But there's bow for Matcap.
So now he can finish all the dungeons but one, which is Desert Palace. But if the boots are on left side swamp, it'll give Smirk a huge advantage. Because it'll take Mapcat a long time to come back here.
Now, the only thing is there only one item here on the left side?
There is.
I know we saw compass. Have we seen the map yet?
I don't think so. So I think we have one item left. And chat is giving the worst possibilities of boots on pad because chat wants to be evil and wants to see our runners do Trinex. So there's your map. So the other question is the boots right here? Nope.
Just some money. So that left side swamp skip was a good play on Matcap's side.
Yep.
But here we go with Meyer on Matcap's side. Just a small key on our bridge. And unfortunately, Smirk taking a death in Swamp Palace. A lot of people kind of refer to Swamp Palace as the dungeon or a death by 1,000 paper cuts. Why? Because Swamp Palace doesn't do a lot of damage. It just does all these little paper cuts worth of damage over and over and over again.
Yeah, basically, and it's such a long dungeon to make, small mistakes on, unfortunately.
So Matcap is going with a little different of a strat here, realizing, hey, I got the big key early. Let's just go for the back. Treating this as the Godmire it is. Maybe we get that needed item off of Vidi and don't have to check the rest of the chests. So worth a shot.
So I guess so we'll have to see where the boots now are, and I'm wondering, for Mapcat, I'm wondering, does he at some point just read the pedestal just to see if it's there, to know if okay, I have to now go beat all these dungeons anyway, because he has not done any of those, or are the boots in TR? Or they, we already know it's not in Eastern. So, and there's not very many overworld checks left.
Well, for Matcap, I don't believe we've actually seen the Eastern Palace play.
But we have on Smirk's side, so we do know that it's full cleared, other than the green pendant.
Yeah. So we could see Matcap go through Eastern Palace, and ooh, that rough death there on Vidi.
I think he has a fairy.
Oh, good. Yeah.
That is the second worst place to die, other than Swamp Palace, is Misery Mire. You could have a vanilla boots, as Professor Pixie just pointed out.
Yeah, and realistically, I see Matcap after finishing up Mire and possibly going back into Mire now, going to pod and possibly an Eastern Palace play. It combo them together.
Yeah,
Because
that
this
makes the most
is
sense. You know, if you're gonna do that, you might as well, you know, now that you have the mirror.
Yeah, this is, that's Matt Cap's 5th crystal. After Matt Cap finishes up the Mire items and pod, if we're not in go mode, I think Eastern Palace becomes the best play for Matt Cap.
Yep. Yeah, that really is the thing. And I guess the question, you know, again, you know, I don't want to keep bringing up Turtle Rock, but we have access to it. I mean, we can't beat the dungeon, but we do have access to it. And not that you really want to go there, but again, you can.
So we are going to get now the left side of Mire arena chest and possibly the one by the big chest. We're still looking for items. Meanwhile, Smirk taking down Argus for his lamp, as well as crystal number 2.
So I'm kind of curious if he has, you know, not done as much of pod as Mapcat has. I'm wondering if he now, well, he doesn't have the bow or the book. Boy, I'm wondering if he goes, I hope he does not go back to pod, because then he's going to unfortunately have to triple dip it then.
Yeah, we do. Well, given it's bow locked, I don't think Smirk's going to make a play there.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to Mire, which is, well, he still doesn't have the medallion for Mire, which he doesn't know that it's in desert.
Hopefully makes that check of desert just to get that.
Oh, there's the boots.
And there we go. That is go mode.
Yep. So 1:16:32. Mapcat has entered go mode.
So yes, either way, you have to make this play into Desert Palace without boots to get Ether Medallion to get into Mire.
Yep, and he's going to see the key on the torch. He's going to go get the Ether Medallion, and then going to go through Mire.
Now, while Matt Cap is in go mode, we might see some extra checks along the way. Obviously, Palace of Darkness is just going to be a go kill Helmasaur, and even Desert's going to be pretty quick. But expect to see at least some chests pulled. Matt Cap really would like to find that Tempered Sword. Unfortunately, that is our second item out of Desert Palace, so we are not getting Tempered Sword here.
Where it looks like Smirk is fluting away, perhaps.
Yep. Potions.
Oh, for Mire. Not a bad choice. He has tons of money he doesn't know what to do with, so he might as well.
And really, Mire is not a friendly dungeon, even with Master Sword and the lamp.
No. No, it is not. It is not a friendly dungeon no matter what you do with it, so I don't blame him at all. Oh, he's going to ice.
Equally a good play, also probably a little quicker given you can get some more items here.
Or changing his mind, going back to Mire. At least get into the dungeon. Now, without him doing purple chest, he will not find half magic. But down goes Landmolus for Mapcat's crystal, and he will head over to Pod and finish crystal number 7, and then head up to GT.
Yeah, so while we are featuring 2 of our runners here with Smirk and Matt, there were 8 total runners who joined this race today. The other 6, of course, are not being shown here. And as I mentioned earlier today, this is the main tourney rule set for this year. These hard standard. Our second qualifier for the main tourney is tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. So,
and while we have an opportunity, while Mapcat goes and crushes Helmasaur King, and while Smirk goes through Misery Mire, we'll hopefully get his Pegasus boots. And then go right back into desert and clear that. Please make sure to give both of our runners a follow. They are giving us an amazing show here this afternoon, as well as our tracker today, Professor Pixie, as well as my co-commentator Radical Sniper, and myself, Nitro 6003.
yeah, being on Restream is definitely one of those sometimes difficult things to get around. Boots are in the lamp locked or the torch locked chest in Mire here. But yeah, being on a Restream can definitely be a little nerve-wracking at times. Putting yourself out there.
And as I said, I'm proud of him for doing this, and again, knowing him personally, and I'm proud of him for doing it, and hopefully, you learn something in every single race that you do, every single seed that you do, even if you don't win, lose, or draw, you will learn something new in every single seed that you do.
So here we go on Matt Cap's side, getting into that final crystal fight with the Helmasaur King. As we do have a prediction, where is that GT Big Key?
Yeah, so I know we don't run the bots on the dailies, but we can have you guys take guesses anyway, because it's always fun. Where do you guys think the GT Big Key will be once Helmasaur King is down? There are 22 possible locations for where the GT Big Key will be. Enter a number from 1 to 22. Go.
And yeah, Chrono asking a good question. Where's the bow?
Where's the
I
other
don't
bow?
disagree.
That is a really good question. Well, as I keep saying, Laser Bridge. It's got to be on Laser Bridge now, since the other one was bow locked.
It could have been boots locked. It could have been. Oh, let's see. Yeah, it could have been Bumper, or sorry, not Bumper. Well, it could be Bumper, but it could have been Bonk Rocks or King's Tomb. It could also have been TR, of course, is the big one everybody likes to say right now. And did we find both items out of Mire? Or did Cutscene Chest have one of our items? So, but Madcap is heading up Dark Death Mountain now to get to GT. This has kind of been a newer route decision in terms of climbing Dark Death Mountain versus climbing Light Death Mountain late in the seed. But there are the boots for Smirk.
Well,
Yeah, and I
will soon-
believe there's still an item in this cutscene chest for Meyer, because I don't think we ever saw that on Madcap's side, and I think we only got one item.
Well, we will see it then on Smirk's side.
Yeah, this could have been that other bow. As Smirk does open up the cutscene chest, or gets to that cutscene. And here we go with GT.
All right. Oh, Madcap starting on the right-hand side. Our container and the compass.
So no decision to be made here. It definitely has to go left side.
Well, there's
And it was
the
just a
other
heart
item. It
piece.
is a heart piece. Three was a small key.
Up through 5 now, finding that fire shield. More money in number 6, and a small key in number 7. And it looks like Madcap is going to continue on the left side. Gonna try to check a few more of these chests and see, at least go full left, it looks like at this point.
Yeah, it does not look like he's going to do Dark Magician.
Yeah, this is usually the strategy I take, is if I find a key right side, I'll continue right. If not, I will go full left. So here we go with number 8, or sorry, number 9 actually. One of our many green 20s now. As we're getting close to full health, we're going to find a lot more of those. What we can say is that is not a bow.
No. That is not the silvers.
And here we go with Rando Room. Checks 10 through 13. And there it is, number 10.
And these are the last couple. He's probably looking for the...
Yeah. Trying to find that tempered sword. No dice.
Yeah, so Master Sword Silverless, which is more than likely coming up for Mapcat. Don't know if Smirk is going to find the tempered sword or not. We will see if he does or does not. Ultimately, if he checks more or not, but then Mapcat did. But Master Sword Silverless is not an easy fight with Ganon. It's 52 spins with the Master Sword.
Man, it sounds so much more real when you say that number. I don't even think about how long that fight is.
Yeah,
I'm just like, I'm spinning.
Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot of spinning, my friend.
Now, I think there is a good chance Madcap will check our 4 chests at the top of GT. We do have, of course, our 2 in the mini Helma room. We've got that 1 pre-Moldorm chest. And, of course, Moldorm's prize last possession could be that tempered sword.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he's going to check anything on his way, but he's not going to, obviously, he's going to pray that it's there, but, I mean, who knows? Well, we'll see. We'll see if he gets it, but, yeah, it is 52 spins with the Master Sword.
And if you want to put those hard-earned channel points on the line here, we do have a channel prediction going. And if you want to put any into the yes category right now, the yes category is offering great returns. a high percentage of the audience saying, no, there is not a sword.
I'm gonna go with no on this one myself because I would, wouldn't mind seeing, again, not that it's either way, but again, Master Sword Silverless is no joke. But half magic does help, and it's really almost imperative that you get the torch glitch on Master Sword Silverless. And oh boy, that Vitreous fight is not easy.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we haven't found any invincibility items on this seed.
No, nope. And it looks to me like Smirk is gonna go elsewhere. Maybe go get some more potions, perhaps. He does have the boots. He can now complete Desert Palace if he wants. Or he's going to the mountain. Oh, he's gonna save the uncle. But this is a rough seed. Especially no safety. I mean, yeah, you have 4 bottles, but no cane of Burna, no cape, none of those.
No powder.
No powder, no mushroom. Yeah, none of those.
So here we go. We've got these 4 checks left at the top of GT.
Yep.
Will we get a sword to avoid the Master Sword Silverless fight?
Oh, map and $20. That does not. It was red. All right, we have 2 more. There's another red, but nope. Not the right red.
We are down to just Moldorm's last possession.
Yep. Oh, there's the other bow. It was in the Bonk Rocks. So Smirk has his bow, and Mapcat will be doing Master Sword Silverless. As Mapcat enters Aga 2. Boots were in Misery Mire. So yeah, book really not needed. Almost a triple there. No, down goes Aga 2. And now it's on to the long, arduous battle with Ganon.
Now, I do believe, of course, that is also Go mode on Smirk's side at this point, actually.
Yeah, he's in Go mode. The question, I think he is in Go mode, but he's definitely having some trouble with some of the bosses. So he's gonna go and try to and take out Pod. Now remember, he has more of Pod to complete. So let's see where we go. So and I believe Mapcat has already refilled his potion. So here we go, 52 spins with the Master Sword.
Yeah, without any safety on this besides those bottles, I'm going to have to play it a little bit safe here, dealing with these early phases.
Yeah,
and just so you remember, that trident, those fire bats, they all hurt a lot.
Yeah, and Ganon does 8 hearts of damage by himself.
Yeah, do not hug the pig.
Yeah, so that was close. Yeah, be real careful there, Mapcat. And we are through phase 1. So into phase 2, and this is not, trust me, this is not easy.
Yeah, those fire bats also dealing 4 hearts of damage here, so.
This is the slow and steady wins the race kind of thing in phases 2.
Yeah.
Well, down to 1 heart. He does have a fairy and 1 blue.
Unfortunately, I'm sure Matt Cap would have preferred to save that blue potion for phase 4. So could unload fire rod shots for the torch to go for triples. Might have to be a little bit more cautious at the end there.
He will definitely. And again, this is just the warm-up for phase 4, which is again 26 spins with the Master Sword.
Yeah, those 24 spins at the end. Unfortunately,
Sorry, 24. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no way to really speed that one up too much.
No.
But should be just about through phase 2 here. I don't think there's much else left.
No, he is into phase 3, but but again, if he misses the torch glitch or something like that, it's going to be not a good thing.
Yeah, and unfortunately, just missing on these spins.
Doesn't want to take a fall or any of those things now.
Getting pokes instead of the spins off. Swapping over to that lamp to be ready to initiate the torch glitch. And yes, being mocked with where our silver arrows were. Planet Zebes. That's not the right game.
There's one. Does not want to take a fall here.
Nice triple there on that phase. Yeah, Matcap going for the triples here. So we'll be able to save some time for sure. Has plenty of magic having that half magic available. So hopefully is able to get through that. Unfortunately, a little early there on that shot.
We'd like to welcome. Sorry, we'd like to welcome the Speed Gaming channel of 60 rating with a parity of 65. Oh, and Mapcat takes a death, but I think he has a fairy.
Yeah, he did have a fairy, so should be fine to finish this out still. Probably not too many spins left at this point. I did lose track of the count, but has been putting in a lot of damage on Ganon. Yes, for those unfamiliar, when you don't have the silver arrows, Ganon does have a slight window of vulnerability right as the teleport's happening. Use the spins to kind of extend that period where you can actually hit him. So you have to really hit during those. And there we go. Ganon is dead. All that is left for Matcap is to cross a 1x3 bridge. And the seed will be over. There we go. Matcap is across the bridge. GG's in for Matcap, who finishes first on the restream with a time of 1:38.29. GG's to Matcap. I will also point out that while first on restream, Matcap finishes today 4th overall. We had 3 finishers before that. We had Lin in first with a 1:35.22. Ganon's Gone Wild in second with a 1:35.30. And Asdaja, with a 1:36.19 in third. So GG's to our runners who have finished so far today. At Asder. Okay. See, I was not familiar with that. I'm familiar with Asder. I'm just not familiar with that writing for Asder. So, GG's.
Yeah, I'm not either.
So we will see if Matt Cap can join us for here in the interview. And meanwhile, Smirk is going through Palace of Darkness basement. We'll be fighting with the Helmosaur King pretty soon.
Yeah, hopefully, now he can, take out Helmosaur and just continue on here with just doing what the seed. And I think someone in chat mentioned that they should change the text that Ganon gives you to it's not in the Mushroom Kingdom. I think I would be okay with that, being a big Mario fan.
I think it kind of fits the theme, though, of course, is that, Super Metroid being almost like a sister game or a sister community to Link to the Past Randomizer.
Yeah, for sure.
As we are now joined, of course, by Matt Cap. GG's.
Yeah, GG's.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for commentating and everything, as always. And yeah, I think it turned out quite good.
Yeah, just the only thing we're kind of hoping for is a sword, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a shame. And I mean, looking at the race room, it was quite close. So I'm quite happy with that, to be honest. I'm quite sure I probably lost more time than some other people in Master Sword Ganon, since bit terrible, to be honest, but well, at least I just did it. So that's good, I guess. But yeah, that last sword for sure would have been nice.
The question, some of the interesting things, I guess, from watching your side of things was we did find the other bow, by the way, the logical first bow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a logical bow was in Bonkrox.
Oh, in Bonkrox?
Yes.
Yes, because where did I find mine?
You got it off of the Bombos tablet, which the book was in the Bowlock pod.
Oh yeah, I was thinking that regarding the keys and the mirror or something, but yeah, that's true for sure. Oh yeah, I hadn't realized that. Oh, that's funny, I guess.
Yeah, because you got the 2 items after that first key in Palace of Darkness, so...
Yeah, for sure.
And that container.
Yeah, that was... Yeah, pod was the answer as usual, right? I mean... it wasn't easy, I guess, to go earlier. Was quite happy with the start, I think. Without getting the pearl quite quick, I think.
Oh, okay, so we know where one of the other swords were. Apparently, the mushroom had one sword, and the powder was on the pedestal. So that is interesting.
Yeah, like it was funny, like seeing quite early, and you had like the. But yeah, I mean, really. Yeah, I mean, after getting the lamp in Argus and a hookshot locking Mr. Empire, I was quite sure and hoping that the a long time plus green mail. Really thought about going into
Sorry, I missed that. I think, did you say that you had considered going into Turtle Rock and kind of was able to avoid such a play?
Oh yeah, I mean, I did really think about it once I was like up in the Death Mountain in the right side. I mean, you could open it, you could go inside. It's a pendant, but yeah. Thankfully, I didn't go inside, and I just went into pod. No, that was after pod. Yeah.
Yeah, we were kind of surprised. You know, you had the medallion to open it up and kind of just completely rejected it.
Yeah, I didn't want to go at first, and yeah, I think the hookshot there was like, okay, like Swamp Palace is completable right now, so there isn't really, and hookshot cave, some more items here, so I don't know. Turtle Rock at that point was probably a miss, and I mean, maybe if it was a qualifier, I would have gone into Turtle Rock, but here I thought let's just go for the quicker route and hope it turns out good.
Yeah, an interesting mix of skips and checks throughout for sure. Has a nice double kill there on Smirk's side with that spin to finish off Landmo. I do want to ask, I know this is like super early routing, but why skipping Lost Woods?
Oh yeah, the forest. I just forgot because of spoiler races and things. I don't know. I just blanked out thinking about the medallions. To be honest, I just phased out. Yeah, and thought, well, I will. I was hoping for the mirror to route it with Schoolwoods, but in the end, I thought, okay, I have to go to the rock, so let's just go from the north and get that out of the way. If the mirror of the boots are there, I'm screwed. But yeah, I just totally blanked out there. I realized as soon as I got to Kakariko, but I just said, okay, let's just play with it.
Fair enough. Yeah, it was a very curious move, and we're like, and you did go back to check it later. Luckily, it didn't have anything of major importance in this seed.
Yeah, for sure. It was weird. I couldn't believe it once I realized, like, oh my god, if there's something there. But well, I did intend to go there. Lumberjack was also kind of scary.
Yeah,
know, but
the a worry. Luckily, I think it was whatever it was today. It was of absolutely no importance. Now, kind of on this, this bow chain, I do want to ask, you were checking tablets, and you did know where Master Sword was when you read Ether tablet and Bombo's tablet. Any particular reason not getting that sword before doing those two checks?
Yeah, I mean, to go up the mountain, I didn't really need the Master Sword. I was, well, kind of hoping there wasn't anything there. I was just like trying to save a little bit of time wherever I could. So, yeah, I thought for the mountain, I really have hammer for modern, so I should be. So, yeah, I just thought let's try to save some time, get some items in the mountain. That maybe, I hadn't thought about it, but maybe that was another reason to not go into Turtle Rock, honestly, even though you're not gonna kill Trinex, you should be okay with half magic, Fire Rod and Fighter Sword, but yeah, that maybe was a reason. And yeah, after Swamp Palace, it was like, okay, if I go for the sword first and then go to the tablet, it's gonna be a time loss, so I just thought, if there isn't anything there, this is gonna be a little bit better, and I mean, once the bow there was, okay, it's just a few. It was 50-50, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, it was very curious given, you made a definite play for both of the tablet checks, so was just a little curious.
Yeah, I guess that book over there, I mean, I hadn't maybe thought 100% the fact that it was bow-logged, but I mean, I don't know. I was trying to play it a bit like a qualifier, where I don't think I'm really leave out, so I played pretty thoroughly, even doing Hera basement. I did skip left side from Palace as there were so many items on the start. And once I got the lamp, I was like, okay, enough progression here. So that worked out well. So I mean, the worst part about Boots Go mode, right, is like you can always think it's in the worst place possible. Like, I don't know, in Thieves Town, and I'm so behind, man. And I guess checking Desert Palace so soon did turn out well, even though it's a time loss, of course. Like, knowing for sure the boots were required early, I think it played out well.
Well, and the double dip was required. So that is, that definitely played out well.
Oh, yeah, it was Ether, right. Oh, yeah, sure. I hadn't realized it. Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, well, definitely then.
Yeah, one of those rare little coincidences about this seed was just the requirement to double dip that dungeon. Actually, even Pod was a required double dip. No way around either of those double dips.
Yeah, for sure. And I did think about going via, I think, Mountains. It was at Ether. But I don't know, like, I mean, it was more, I think, like, worry about Vitreous than Dark Mire, because Fighter Sword, no bow, nothing Vitreous.
Yeah, low percent Vitreous is definitely one of the more concerning fights in the game, for sure. Meanwhile, Smirk taking down the Moth for crystal number 5. We'll still have to go to Ice Palace and back to Mire to take down Vidi.
Does have the boots.
He does.
Yeah, unfortunately took a death on Vitreous first trip in.
I did play like really safe with the potions.
Yeah, and the seed was actually pretty generous in some regards in the fact that gave you a couple of blues along the way.
Yeah, and I think a fairy at the start, maybe. I did know to take one on the way. Something like that, but I mean, I did try to play it safe.
Yeah, no, and the definitely we saw that with your Ice Palace play heading into the back up to get that fairy room and catch a fairy before fighting Cold Stare.
Yeah, I mean, I even thought about buying only one potion and just doing that, but like once I was there, like, what's the point? I just thought, okay, let's just like 20 seconds, play it really safe and just in case. I mean,
yeah, for Cold Stare.
Yeah, Fighter Sword. Yeah, I did go, and not like 7-8 hearts, so I did go a bit low percent. I mean, it shouldn't really be that hard, I think, but I did want to play it safe because like dying in Culture at that point, it's just really gonna feel terrible. And I mean, lately I am doing like more low percent plays and they're turning out good, but like yesterday, for example, in the qualifier, I did have a little bit of problems in a low percent Mothula, so I am gonna try to just get those potions and play a little bit more safe for now.
Yeah,
and I mean,
without spoiling that seed from yesterday too much, if people are going to run it, I can definitely attest to the fact that there was a potential for a very low percent moth fight there, and I couldn't agree that kind of makes some difference in how the rest of that seed proceeds.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, I had like a bigger problem with something. Let's forget about it. But I mean, still, even if you don't really lose that much time, like just dying that soon at the seed just feels terrible. And I mean, you are gonna feel it for the rest of this. So yeah, I think it's just better to play it safe. If you just have the flute and the bottles and the money, it's just a couple of seconds. And I mean, at least I used like a bottle climbing GT and something. I think I did like go a little bit fast using the fire rod, so it was worth it in that way, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and unfortunately, the we just didn't find Cape or Kane to make phase 2 of Ganon a little bit better.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's usually how I end up doing it with the cape. So that with that, it's usually okay. And I do not have to practice it, but I mean, there's so many things. So I mean, it could have gone worse again. I mean, maybe a little bit more luck with the patterns, and I could have gotten a little bit more spins, but. And I mean, I knew like people were gonna finish like during my fight, and that's exactly what happened. So I'm quite sure probably didn't drop in the last, but again, really strong players, and if I think this would have been a nice game for a qualifier or something like that. So I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, given our, as we said earlier, fourth finisher overall, but yeah, between Lin, Ganon's Gone Wild, and Astor as our first 3 to finish, really well done on your end to only be about 3 minutes behind Lin. So
yeah, yeah, not gonna complain about that for sure. To be honest,
right.
Happy with that result. Yeah, for sure.
So Smirk is technically in go mode. I think Smirk's trying to find another sword right now. Knowing that Cold Stare and Vitreous are our 2 remaining bosses. Did get that half magic, so hopefully that kind of gives a little bit of boost of confidence. It looks like we are going to see Ice Palace next. So that'll be a nice little bonus there, combined with having Bombos Medallion. So
I don't know.
We'll definitely be able to just spam Fire Rod
to restock his potions.
Has 1,000 rupees, so that's a possibility. Going for the bomb refill and the arrow upgrade. So, I mean, you've mentioned the qualifiers. I guess, so you're planning to do, aiming for the group stage, or hopefully?
I don't know. I think I'm possible, so to speak. I mean, and that's a first. Like, I would like to, but it's not gonna be easy for sure. I mean, I wasn't like I almost made the cut in SG Live. It was like a few positions away, but obviously there's gonna be more players here. I think like because with SG Live, maybe more people here are gonna be interested. So yeah, I mean, I do want to try. It's gonna be fun. If not, I mean, like a race like yesterday once with 150 plus people and really top players. Really reminds you of the level and the numbers in the community. But yeah, and I mean, if not, there's always the Challenge Cup, which will be fun for us, well, for sure.
Yeah, 154 runners yesterday. For those of you who were not around, quite the massive race. Definitely pushing the limits of race time. But a really a great race yesterday for sure, and expect to see that for the rest of the qualifiers. There are 15 more of those over the next weeks, so
yeah, and we even have one in 3 hours, so there's that.
Yeah, there is our next qualifier, 8 p.m. tonight, so it'll start officially. I can actually tell you which channel that one will be on. But yeah, we will have qualifier number 2 in just about 4 hours. Sorry for the delay in being able to tell everybody. Because I believe it's actually scheduled for whatever channel. I just know that it is tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I know that's a little late for the our European runners, unfortunately, but
there's definitely some later race times and earlier race times. I think the community did a very good job of at least trying to find times for everybody to fit 5 of them in.
Yeah, there's definitely a good balance across the board for the community. You know, if you're not able to necessarily hit some of those earlier times, then you will be able to make some of those
So
or
it looks
later
like
races or earlier races, whichever ones. There are at least some available to hit any of them.
So it looks like, from what someone in chat saying, Speed Gaming 3 with Dazed and Ryu on comms.
Oh, cool. So yeah, Dazed Cloud and Phantom Ryu, I guess, are doing the comms tonight. Great pair, of course. And yeah, Speed Gaming 3, it looks like, as the planned channel for that one. So definitely check that out. It will start officially. The race is going to kick off roughly about 8:10 p.m. There is a 10-minute delay for the runners, so you'll see the race officially kick off then. But you know, if you're looking for another race tonight to watch, along with this item this item pool or these settings, definitely tonight is our second qualifier, and these will be happening almost daily for the next 3 weeks. A couple of off days in there, but for the most part, it's going to be every day until early April will be our qualifiers.
Yeah, basically. And then, as Mapcat said, for those who don't get in, there's always I believe, the Challenge Cup, which I think, if I am told correctly, will be on normal settings, not on the hard settings. But again, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think that announcement did come out yesterday or earlier this week or last week or later last week. Challenge Cup, which is pretty much open to anybody not in the main tournament, will be running off pretty much a standard seed, but without the hard item pool. So if you're a little uncomfortable with this hard item pool, there is going to be that as another option. Meanwhile, Smirk is working through Ice Palace. Unfortunately, not going to find a sword here. Just finding some, you know, I did see a heart piece, but I don't believe there was anything of really help in this dungeon.
No.
No, and actually, I did want to comment on that because I believe Ice Palace was, like, in logic extremely soon, even without a sword, I believe. So I really thought at one point that, like, maybe rushing Ice was going to go, like, with at least a sword and a little bit more safe. And of course, that sword in Schoolwoods was really funny. Not going before was a shame.
Yes, no, that the Swamp Palace play or the Ice Palace play was in logic. Actually, found that we didn't think anybody was going to go for it just because it was, you know, while you had Bombos, it didn't look very pretty.
But yeah, I guess it was hookshot locked, maybe.
I didn't pay close enough attention, to be honest, to the keys. But based on the fact you got an early big key, oh wait, no, big key was, yeah, I didn't pay attention to the small keys. Although there was a small key on Cold Stare, so yeah, it would have been hookshot locked.
Yeah, and it was also a shame with Pod because I got the big key test, and I'm pretty sure because of the logic it was 100% a key, but I really don't trust that logic. I don't know. I've had bad surprises. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of little facets, and I've talked with a lot of friends about this one. honestly, especially with, you know, a lot of experienced runners, I don't think any of us pay attention to key logic of Ice Palace that closely anymore. Like, it's definitely stuff to keep in mind and have that info in the back of your head. I think a lot of runners kind of just go, oh, it was hookshot locked. Oh, it was Samaria locked. Okay, whatever. But Smirk working on this Cold Stare fight down to just one puff. And down goes Cold Stare.
He's gonna be careful of that. Like will eat his shield. Well, I know it's not a like in this game, but it does basically the same thing as a like where it eats your shield and other items.
Yeah, I've definitely had that happen in these, and then you're like, well, I guess I'm not getting a shield back.
Unless you're gonna spend 500 rubies to buy one.
And yeah, so all that Smirk has to do at this point is take down Vitreous, and I think, yep, potion refill before heading back to Mire.
Yeah, I don't blame him on this one bit.
In the meantime, I forgot to point out we did have a 5th place finish from Immortal Koi at 147.01. So still a couple of runners going through this seed. Smirk this time dashing well past the Murder Dactyl, so despawning it.
I didn't think you could actually despawn the Murder Dactyl.
Well, I call it despawn. Maybe it's not officially a despawn, but it definitely gets rid of it.
Yeah, because I thought that they'd chase you forever.
Pretty much if you get far enough away, it kind of forgets about you or is gone.
Good to know, because I definitely did not know that.
Because you actually kind of see that with the Palace of Darkness Murder Dactyl. If you dash by that tree, where it won't follow you into the hedge maze.
Good point. So all he has to do now is go back to Vidi, kill Vidi, and then climb back up to GT. And unlikely, unless he checks more than Mapcat, he will also be doing Master Sword Silverless.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know, given what we had heard, that there is a sword on the shroom, which I'm guessing at this point was shroom and TR. We're unlikely to find.
Yeah, the chances of finding especially since he doesn't know that the other sword is on the shroom at this point, and it could be powder that leads us to the shroom, because it could be shroom on Magic Bat for all we know. That gives us the shroom, but we'll never know. That is probably correct, that James guy. I don't think he's ever done Master Sword Civilist either, so there's never a good time to learn. I have not done it either. I've done Tempered Sword Civilist, but I've never done Master.
Yeah, it's definitely a very it's an intimidating fight, especially given just of the extra safeties in this seed. The bottles have been nice, but without a cave or powder or anything to kind of help alleviate some of the other issues, it's just been, this is not an easy one to deal with. So we are getting some bomb vitreous, which, as a low percent strategy, this is definitely one a lot of runners will go for. A combination of bombs and arrows can really kind of take down vitreous quicker. Just have to be a little careful here. Has the potions. I'm surprised not popping a potion at this point.
I know he also has a fairy too.
But yeah, these little eyes are doing 4 hearts of damage, so
Yeah, so
really
not much room
rough.
for error. So now he's got to either use his blue potion or he's gonna have to start all over again. Oh boy.
Rough go there, unfortunately. And it does appear that has decided. And yeah, I don't blame him. Did a real bang up job on this. Just low percent seeds are definitely a hard race to go through at times. Depending on your comfort level with a seed, this can definitely even beat some of the more experienced runners if you just don't find things that lend themselves to easier fights.
Get your GGs in chat. He did a very, very good job. I mean, vitreous is not a joke for any runner, regardless of anything. And yeah, it's brutal,
Hello.
Hey, as we are now joined by Smirk. GG's.
Yeah, GGs.
GG to everybody that played, and to my stream competitor, Matt Cap. Awesome.
Thank you, man. GG's. I hope you had fun.
Yeah, I did. I'm still learning the game, so every seed is fun for me. This one was a bit challenging because I rely a lot on the Cane of Berna or the Cape, and without those two, I have a lot of trouble in the dungeons. So that was I couldn't find those at all.
Yeah, we didn't see anything on Matt Cap's side either. So wherever that
wow.
Keep, Burna, or even Tempered Sword were, we do not know at this
Well,
point.
we do know where. We do know that the mushroom had a sword. We never found it, but the mushroom did have a sword. We do know that the powder was on the sad part of the pedestal. So those two.
The powder was
were
on
there.
the pedestal, you said?
Yeah, powder was on the
Oh.
pedestal.
Yeah, that's way too out of the way to go for that safety. So I just none of the safeties were available for me in this one. So I struggled a lot.
You know what, buddy? You are, I give you a big heads up because you've done something I have not, and I give you a lot of credit. The seed was not friendly in any way. Again, no safeties. You did have the bottles, but again, you were fantastic, and hats off to you. And regardless of the outcome, you learn something from every seed, and we don't know where the other swords were. So from what we know, everybody did Master Sword Silverless. So
Oh
it's
wow.
an interesting
Okay.
thing.
Yeah, I couldn't find the other sword either. How about you, Matt Cap? What did you think? Is he?
I yeah, I mean it was no boots. It's always not fun, and yeah, looking for that sword for a long time. Once you got I mean, you could have seen the sword. I saw it pretty early, thankfully, but I mean the mirror was so late. Once I got it in pod.
Yeah.
Of course, so late, but yeah, I mean, at least we did have like a lot of money and a lot of potions. That was like the
Yeah.
only good thing you could abuse a bit, but yeah, I mean, I actually enjoy the settings. I think they're okay for the tournament, even if though that sometimes they're tough. And I mean, I do think it like really helps you to. And that's the thing. Like, I always recommend to people that are starting, especially to, as well as playing more normal seeds, to play like swordless or hard item pool experts. It's like you have to get used to not having, like you were saying before, like the cape and Birna, which do help. And I mean, I, for example, almost always use cape in Ganon to just do a 1 or 2 cycles easily. But yeah, I mean, there are tough seats here. Like,
Yeah.
and everything can go wrong so quickly. So that's why I played it really safe, at least with the potions.
Yeah, that's a good call. I agree with you for the most part. Like, as you know, the tournament seeds being the way they are, you know, they have to be challenging because there's so many really good racers out there, and you know, in order for it to be challenging for those people, they really have to make them this difficult. But one of my reasons for wanting to be restreamed today was to show like newcomers and other people who are interested in trying to play that you can start wherever. Like, if you saw my my run, you obviously can tell that I'm newer, and it's fun. Like, it's still a really enjoyable time, and I'm just really hoping that, you know, people out there who are watching may be more interested in giving it a try. It's not even just racing, but there's a huge and amazing community with volunteering and the comms. Thank you guys so much for commentating. Thank you, the trackers, and there's just so many, you know, fun, awesome people. It's one of the best communities I've ever been in. So
Yeah, to kind of tag on to that, you know, I'll tell you, like, I don't know how long, you know, you said you've been pretty new. I personally have been racing a year at this point. So, you know,
nice.
it's one of those things, like, there are a lot of avenues to get involved in this community, and definitely, you know, the dailies are a great spot. And there's just so many opportunities for people to get involved and, you know, take a chance and see what happens. And, you know, there are tons of people and resources who are so willing to help out. So the fact that you were willing to, you know, join in on a restream today, you know, testament to that idea for sure.
And
Yeah.
you know, Mark, because of that, at some point I'm going to try also and see how bad I do too. So we'll do it together.
All right, that sounds fun. I'm down for that.
And
Yeah,
maybe,
and
if you want, you can calm my race and see how bad I do.
Hey, well, you're the one that taught me pretty much everything, so I am thankful to you, Nitro.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, and speaking about
Hello?
yeah, speaking about like newer players, I just wanted to commentate really quickly, like he was saying, Smirk, that like I started playing like just before the qualifiers on the last Challenge Cup, and I played in the Challenge Cup like having only played like a month or two, and I still like won some rounds and had a ton of fun. So I really encourage everyone to join, even if not the qualifiers, for sure the Challenge Cup, since you will be in a bracket and in a real race, hopefully restreamed, and it's absolutely a ton of fun.
Oh, that's awesome. So you last year is like me this year. Great. I'm
And the other
excited now.
place, and what's interesting is the other place that people can get started is that there's the ladders too, which are fun too, and you don't know who you're racing against, and it is another place to get started where you could race against anybody, and it's literally a blind race. You don't know.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities for racing outside of, this main tournament, and just places to learn, and just, you know, between tricks and just experience. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
but I do want to, just throw the links out there one more time for everybody else watching. Make sure to give our runners a follow. And also shout outs to my co-commentator Nitro and our tracker Professor Pixie. Tracking, I feel, is the hardest job to do on these restreams. I have hard enough time tracking my own race. And as we said, there is a qualifier tonight at 8 p.m. The room will open up for that roughly about an hour before then. All the details, of course, are in the Discord for that. So, and the race will be restreamed tonight, we were told, on Speed Gaming 3. So do make sure to check that one out, as well as future daily races coming up this week. But I believe that's going to probably do it for us here. I guess, do our runners have anything else, or Nitro?
I'm good.
No, just another big thanks.
Yeah, big thanks to everyone involved, as always, commentating, restreaming, tracking, gaming, and everything. And yeah, it's been a ton of fun.
Okay, well, I guess, thank you everybody for hanging out today, and we will see you next time for more on Speed Gaming. Of course, follow the Speed Gaming channels 1 through 6, and, make sure to tune in for future races. Until then, though, have a great rest of your Monday.